Hey guys, and we're back with making an antivirus. I think this is building engine part 2. I do seem to lose track at the minute. Yes, it's building engine part 2. So for the guys who were here last week, this page will look familiar to you. We're going to do a few things quickly, and we're going to have to add a few more variables. So the first one we're going to add is our scan type, and we're going to set this as an integer, and we're going to use this to determine whether we are going to do a custom scan or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our scan type here, and we're going to see if it equals 0. If it equals 0, we're going to call that a custom scan. And for those of you who don't know, well, a custom scan is literally just whatever the user has decided to pick. So for instance, a custom scan would be you've just downloaded a file, a RAR file, you've unzipped it, and you decide you want to scan the folder. So we're going to leave a comment here, and we're going to put a custom scan, just because we haven't set a variable for it yet. We will set a constant later on. Next, we're going to do our preset scan types. So I'm only going to put two in this. I'm going to do one, which is going to be our full scan. And we're going to need to begin that. I'm just going to leave some comment markers in the middle because we're not going to do that today. And next, we're going to do our quick scan. So this is going to be 2. And we're setting these up purely because I have a design in mind, but other than that, I'm pretty much winging it. So I'm going on a similar design to the startup that I'm a part of. We've just binned an engine. So we've just stopped using an engine we named Sapphire, and we stopped using it because we had made a better one. But the architecture that we used, there's not really nothing wrong with it. It worked. We just happened to code a slightly more efficient one, and we wanted to go with a more efficient one. So that's going to leave that exactly where we want it. Next thing we want to go for is we added the update info, update client info function, and we're going to start relaying messages pretty much. Or we're going to set our messages there to be relayed when we add our named pipe. So we need our named pipe to pass information from one to the other. So we need to set all these. We didn't set them last week because they ran out of time. So we're simply going to go through and give them all an integer. Just going up. The user's never going to see these. So, you can stick whatever number you like in there, as long as this oh no, we put this in a shared folder, so the number, you can stick whatever number you like in there. I've just gone for numbers that I will personally be able to remember. So we're gonna put a simple delimiter in here. So delimiter is just a, we're not going to put this in here, we're going to put this in here. A delimiter is pretty much just something that you use to split text. So we're going to send this via a named pipe, which is going to send the entire string in one go. And unfortunately, without sending multiple messages, which is going to waste time, we need a way at the other end of breaking our big string back up into little strings. And so we use a character as a delimiter. I have used the hash because the majority of time, I don't think you can stick that in a file name either. I'm not going to try, but I'm pretty sure you can't stick a hash in a file name. So it means that we're not going to have any issues with it splitting things like file name strings up or other display names or detection names up because they've got a hash in them. I hope that makes sense to you guys, because this is obviously becoming quite a complex project. So next we want to send our update status. So we're just going to send text, and we're going to do gathering information, just like that. And now we're going to need this function actually quite a few times in this. We're going to need to call this function a fair few times in this thread, because basically what's going to happen is that is going to be sent over our pipe when we do our pipe to our client, and on the client's GUI side it's going to update the GUI to say, okay, the scanner is running, it's gathering information for the pre-scan variables, so the number of files we have to scan and things like that, how long we estimate it to be, time elapsed, things like that. So we then need to get the number of files. So we had a variable which was total count of files, and we stick our total count of files here, and then we are going to go into our utils, and this is why we set it up in this manner, and we're going to count all files. Now, we didn't declare this in this unit. And what we're doing is we're now propagating some of the variables that we set up last week. So this requires our, it's not going to show me the declare. It requires the path, the mask we're using, and whether it wants to go into subdirectories. So we have a variable called subdirectories. So it was path, then it was a mask, then it was a subdirectories. And then we want our object path. Oh, we don't want to do that. We want our object path, which goes in there. And we want to scan all files. Now, later on when we do preset scan types, so the quick scan type, we're going to isolate out certain file types which are considerably less likely to be malicious, so text files, you know, a few others that aren't do not have current exploits for them, not commonly exploited. So now we're going to copy our nice little function here, we're going to put it back, and this time we're going to change it to scanning. And this is very similar if you look at the original code that we did for our simple antivirus. Not supposed to see that, we'll blank that out. So this is the original from our simple antivirus, and as you can see we are pretty much mimicking the exact thing that we had. So we changed the variables, we carried on. But some of this obviously has to be sent back and forward between the client and the service, so it will get very complicated very quickly. Right, so the next one we will need is after here we will need another one, which is creating a report. And then we need to leave a comment, create report. And then we need to send a final one that says scanning finished. So I'm going to try and keep these episodes under 20 minutes because, as you can probably hear, my laptop is dying from the amount of rendering I'm doing, and therefore I'm going to try and keep it short. So once again, we're going to stick our gathering information in, and where we had our last one up here, object count, because we're scanning a single file, you can stick it at 1. Now we will have to come back here at some point, and we will have to add a function in which is going to send all of the current information across to the client, but we will more than likely do that in the scan file function, because the scan folder function is pretty much listing off files for the scan function file to use, and therefore what we will do is in the top of the scan function file we will call update client, and we will give it another string of text like this, and we will tell it, okay, update this from here, and do that. So once again, we're going to add scanning. It does get quite repetitive, and this will only be in one language. And then afterwards, creating report. If you guys would like to see something in here that I'm missing out, or you see something that I might have done slightly differently from how you'd have done, please do comment in the comment section. At the minute, the majority of the comments I get are usually spam or other things along them lines, and I know people are watching this. I know that there's not a lot of people watching this, but there is people watching it, and your feedback in what you would like to see and what I should do next is appreciated. So now we've done this, we know that our file will send out all of our pieces, and so we're going to come over and we're going to make another unit. And this one we're going to set as our scan engine preset scans. So this will be used to store our preset scans. So your quick scan. Okay, I named that wrong. Ugh. I'll rename it later. So in here is where we're going to put our preset scan types, and we're going to leave it empty for now, and we're just making it so that I don't forget that we've started it pretty much. I'm going to come over to our variables. Should we do this in our variables folder or not? Yes, we'll do it in here. We're going to stick a constant in here, and we're going to define our scan types. So custom scan is equal to 0. Don't put that in there. Our quick, no, we did full scan next. Scan is equal to 1, and our quick scan is equal to 2. So we're just going to basically declare them so that we get a text. We get a text name for them, and it's going to make it so much easier for someone, if they come and read the code, for them to just determine exactly what's going on, what switches you're using, and in the event of a problem, it's really easy just to go to the variables page and change the number. So that finishes that, and we're at 14 minutes. We've still got 5 more minutes. That's another thing, you guys, if you're watching this, please do comment if these videos are getting too long or too boring, because antivirus development is not the most fun, and I do have a few fun videos coming up to answer a couple of questions, especially the question of how do you determine whether it is working without infecting yourself with dangerous malware. So stay tuned for that. I have a very entertaining solution to it, which I'm sure is going to get more views than doing this. So we've set them up. I'm going to come over to our preset, and please do spell it right. I'm not going to bother to rename this probably. Oh, wow, have I got wrong? And we're going to put our full scan, and that's exactly what we're going to name it. And then we're going to come down and we're going to do our quick scan. So in the same way that this function works, we will have the same guts pretty much in the middle, and you could just write one function and then stick a load of if statements in it, but I prefer to have my code segmented, a bit more, modular. So you're gonna have to put the users back in, and we're gonna use Windows at some point. We're gonna need utils. And we're going to need the engine utils. And we're going to need the scan underscore engine var. Vars like so. And we will need the scan core. So that just declares a lot of things out for us. And pretty much what we're going to do is, for now, we are going to copy the scan folder function. Now this will require some editing, and it's going to go bananas for a few seconds. I'm going to leave it like this. And why is that? We haven't got named pipes. I've spelled a mistake in that one as well. Named pipe, not pipes. Right, so we're just gonna stick true in here, and for now we're just gonna put the common root file, or the root folder. We do that here as well, and we're gonna leave full scan like that for now. And there's a really good reason for it. We are currently not at a stage where we can even run it. So until we have a stage at which we can run it, there's no point in modifying this code too much. But yeah. So next we really need... How much time do we have left? We don't really have a lot of time left. So we're going to leave it at that. We've updated our GUI system, that we've updated the function that will send the pipe information from the service to the client. We've defined our quick and full scan functions ready for next time. We've added the scan type variable. We have created our scan prefixes. And we're pretty much going to leave it there for today. I don't really want to make a video that's over 20 minutes because YouTube keep telling me that they're just not getting enough views. People obviously get bored after 10 minutes and don't bother. So if you enjoyed this, you know where the like button is. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. There will be a button at the end of this video. If you need Delphi, the link is at the end of the video. It will be free, 100% free. There's no need to crack it, download it from a dodgy website, get yourself infected with God knows what. Just go to the link at the end of the script at the end of the video and click the video, watch it, download your own version, install it and join in. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time.